Hello. My name is Mustard, Captain Mustard, and this is Project Nigel. And in today's rather exciting episode, this but mostly this. That's all of my Rover keys and not one of them fit. You see, I thought I'd start my day with a bit of a disaster, and I managed to lock all of the keys, including Nigel's, in the back of Nigel's boot. I don't know how I managed it, but I did. Gonna have to use this, I think. At the ready. No, I don't think that's gonna. That's not gonna go down there. You ready?
Here we go. Whoa! Straight through. Ha!
Poor little Nigel. Well, that is definitely not the start I was expecting for my day. No. The unusual and certainly unexplained start for my day was going to be me just setting off out, which I still am doing, to go and collect somebody from the train station. Only half an hour later than what I originally said I would do. The chaps at the garage couldn't get in without damaging the door, so the sledgehammer became the only answer. What a weird feeling it is to be deliberately breaking into your own car like that. But obviously it is my own fault. I got distracted, you see. I was just talking to one of the chaps at the carpet shop and I had some keys in my pocket and I just flung them straight into the boot with the box of keys, not realising that Nigel's key was actually in there, and I must have just pressed the lock as it went in. I'm not even going to call myself stupid for that. What I would say though is that this glass is incredibly tough. But we know that anyway, which is why it's strange that couriers won't take them. I whacked it with one of those special pointy hammer things about 4 times before I give up on that. Then tried a lump hammer about 4 times until eventually, when it became clear you couldn't get in without making some sort of damage, the old sledgehammer. At least this is just a matter of taking off the door card and replacing the glass. But that's now my first job of the day. We have a mystery guest here today who's volunteered to do something rather special with this Rover 800. You're in?
I'm in.
You're communicating with it?
I'm talking to the phone.
That was quick. I was expecting you to have all sorts of problems with it.
No, it's quite good when it works. Right, read ECA code. Start node initializing. This is the moment true, so it does this. The emergency key executes with this vehicle is 2884. Job done.
This rather excellent young chap has come up all the way from Nottingham, having seen some of the problems with the 800, to see if he can mend it, because he's done a master's degree in reverse engineering ECUs or something like that. I forgot what it was he said. I was listening, but I've just forgotten. He's a very, very clever chap indeed, it seems, and he managed to get the EKA code for this straight away, but so far still not working. Anyway, while he's working on that, I now have a job that this morning wasn't even a consideration. Yes, I wasn't expecting to be doing this job today, fitting a new piece of glass. Seems like the perfect opportunity for an instructional video. Not that I'm going to take that opportunity though. Not so good. Not sure how this has happened, but I sent the window regulator down so I could pick out the bits for the glass and stuff, and it all bent. So now I need a window regulator as well. And the last time I needed one of those, I didn't have one. Mind you, I had loads that looked like they might be right, but they just didn't work. We'll have a look. Earlier on today, I was having this kind of conversation with myself, but not out aloud, which I normally do, about Rover parts and how I'm going to be not selling many of them because they're just becoming too rare and I need them myself, like alternators, starter motors, this kind of thing. One of those things wasn't glass, but it was window regulators. This particular regulator here was supposed to be going into Project Ronnie, but it didn't fit. Right, there's my old regulator, and there's the other one that I would have sold for Reggie, but it didn't work. And they do appear to be exactly the same. Right, there's the new window regulator, safely fitted in the hole. Hopefully won't get any more problems. Back to the 800, Lady Charlotte of Southport. It seems as if the ECU is a bit goosed as well. Reasonably unlikely. That's not the kind of thing that happens very often. But luckily I had a spare MEMS or MEMS, or a spare ECU basically. We'll plug that in and see whether any communications can now begin. Hungry vacuum cleaner, hungry for the glass. And now time for loads more vacuuming and more vacuuming, and then probably a bit more. I've remembered what the problem with this window regulator was now. It only goes half the way up and stops. Yeah, the other way it wants to keep going down to the bottom of the door, and I never figured out why, but now I'm going to have to do. Having just dropped James off at the train station, and now I'm on the school run, it seems the 800 has a rather curious wiring problem, which wasn't expected. Communication was initially met, and we thought the problem was going to be solved in a matter of jiffies, about 5 jiffies, but then it stopped. It stopped communicating. It didn't want to talk any longer, become grumpy. A variety of tests later, it was discovered that the two important modules weren't quite talking to each other as they should, but either of them were fine. The problem is now likely to be either the wiring that goes from the what's that thing called? We have a BCU now. This thing's called something else, like a CPU. From underneath the dashboard to the bonnet where the BCU is. That could be where the fault lies. Either that, or it's going to be within the fuse box itself, which are prone to soldering issues. So the next and probably the easiest thing I can do will be to take this fuse box out and see if there are any dry joints. I am exceedingly grateful for James for popping down though, or popping up on the train all that distance just so he could come and satisfy his own curiosity. If that's what it was, I don't know. Very nice young chap. Well done, James, for being such a good young chap. There should be more like you. What about the other things I was supposed to be doing today? Well, let's forget about Nigel just for one moment and consider this. I was going to be continuing the job of cleaning up the green 416 called Gladys to make it more presentable for sale. And the same with that other one, the red one that doesn't have a name because it's not my car. That's like it's going to happen. Oh, with the other thing, I wanted to mess about with the MGTF as well. It doesn't look like that's going to be happening either today, because I've still got to carry on when I get back doing the job that I didn't plan on Nigel and its window. Oh, cool. Oh, I missed it. Just seen a lovely big land crab going the other way. I don't consider fitting a window regulator to a Rover 25 to be a difficult job. I really don't understand why it doesn't work on that one. But no matter, because I do have another window regulator that I can use. So that's what I'll be doing when I get back. There we go, there's another window regulator. I now have a window regulator that works properly, which is a relief. So it means I can start to put this lot back together again. So, now the window. It's very easy to put the glass in and then suddenly find that it's not entirely in properly. Either side of the sliders. One of them could be a bit off. You only need one, not both, just one. And if one of them's off, it's not going to work. Well, replacing the glass is one of those jobs that is very, very easy indeed. Or it could be very difficult. Rather depends on your level of competence. Competence or incompetence can sometimes get in the way and cause this to be a minor irritation. In this instance, it was slightly. This may be a good time for an impromptu IQ test, just to see if you're up for the job, because this man clearly isn't. Yes, I am. Good. Oh no, I forgot to show you how to put the door card back on. That's a shame. That's all back together except for one thing, which is just this bit of trim here, which I've broken a couple of clips on, and it's also slightly bent, but I really don't think I've got another one. I have. Look at this. Now this door used to be on Nigel. In actual fact, that door was one of the first things that got put on there, straight after the boot spoiler and the filler flap. There you go. A few years ago, I met this chap who bought a car off me. He used to run some sort of scrapyard, and he used to invite generally ladies over there and give them a big hammer, charge them £15, and they could just smash a car up as much as they liked, provided it was going to be weighed in anyway. And you know, that thought just occurred to me then when I had to break Nigel's window, and I struggled to see, really struggling to see the enjoyment in doing that. I mean, that is my car, but just smashing things up to vent your frustration, I'm not sure how that works. Doing it creatively, on the other hand, different matter. About a year ago, I managed to destroy a few BMW parts, but I didn't just smash them up, I just did experiments. That's different. It's a bit funny in that.